All righty. We are live. So, everyone, as you guys are rolling in, I want to first and foremost thank you all for being a part of our community, Mobile Home Investing for Newbies. If you are brand new, I want to welcome you into the group and just inform you guys the purpose of this group really is for those that are new and looking to get into mobile home investing. Some people may have been interested in different types of investing and kind of stumbled upon mobile homes, or you really are interested in mobile homes. This is a resource for you to come ask questions, share your experiences, and everybody kind of, it's just a community where we'll come in, we'll answer questions for each other. The connection. I hope you guys can see me. Okay. In there. But again, this is just a community for us all to network and work together towards investing in mobile homes. So every Thursday, I bring on a special guest that has some experience or has some value that they can add to our group as a whole for us to all learn from. And for a while now, I have been following and just watching our special guest that we have tonight. Actually, when I first was interested in mobile homes at all, I started joining a bunch of groups. Like, let me just, let me see what's going on in this mobile home world. And I just kept seeing her popping up in different, basically every group. It was like I was like, okay, there she is. Okay, there she is. All right. Um, and I was just so intrigued by her story. It was very just a beautiful story, a beautiful woman. And I was like, we just have to have her on. So I want to welcome our special guest today, Chanel Baker, better known as Mobile Home Mom. So welcome, Chanel. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, and thank you so much for having me on here. Yes, mobile home mom.
Absolutely.
I have 3 kids, 4, 2, and 5 months. So that's how mobile home mom came about in about 2018. But been investing in mobile homes since 2016. I've done everything. I first started fixing and flipping. Then I started moving
Mhm.
homes, got comfortable with that. Then I started wholesaling, became an Infill specialist, and I've rented them out, sold on payments, all types of things. So I've kind of been around the block.
I love it. I love it. And like I was telling you a couple seconds ago, I'm like 6 years in this space is such a long time. Like people that have been in it, even for myself, been in it for like 4 or 5 months, you feel like you have a really good feeling and kind of understanding of the mobile home space because things happen, transactions happen so fast, like things happen so fast in this space. So that is just really wonderful for you to be in it for that long and to continue to be in it. So, what I want to know is first and foremost, how did you get into mobile homes in the first place? Because that's one thing that, there's so many stereotypes around mobile homes in general. So, a lot of people are hesitant when I'm saying, oh, we're investing in mobile homes now from transitioning from single families. They like, why? Right? What are you
Yeah.
doing, Jasmine? It sounds like you're backtracking. And I'm like, no, no, no. So,
Yes.
how did you get into mobile homes in the first place? And tell us a little bit about like your first deal ever,
Absolutely.
if you
So,
can remember
I
that.
mean, to put it all in one, like my first deal, I didn't believe in mobile homes. I was just like everyone else. I was trying to get in the wholesaling space and real estate. And actually, I did both at the same time. But it was my fiance. He was like, mobile homes is where it's at. It's affordable housing. It's a niche that's really small. And I was like,
Mhm.
okay. So,
Mhm.
fast forwarding, basically, he found a mobile home park that was about 10 minutes away from us. Um,
Okay.
I wasn't all on board. I was like, you do what you do, we'll get it going. Park standards, you usually have to fill out an application. Um,
Mhm.
I wasn't going to do it. I was a flight attendant at the time. I didn't really want to get the hit on my credit. So he did on himself to still apply for the park. He just got out of jail. So he didn't, have really the record to do it, but he
Mhm.
did it anyway.
Yeah.
Um, the park turned around and denied him.
Mm.
He does have, a background, but it's crazy because like, he was telling the manager, which got to the owner, hey, he's trying to help us out in this park. He could really, there was a lot of homes that were empty that could, need some work that nobody really wanted to touch. A lot of
Mhm.
people just want a clean, safe, affordable home. And
Yeah.
so that's what, he was preaching to the manager and the park owner. The park owner was on board. He was like, man, do it. I still have to do an application, but do what you have to do. The park denied him, and he went back and called my fiance, the owner, and was just like, Cam, like, why are you getting denied? And he was like, listen, that's not my life anymore. We were just now starting a new family. I was pregnant at the time.
Yeah.
That's just not me anymore. Like, I'm really trying to, do better and do better things and make better
Right.
choices. And what's crazy is that, like, the park owner turned around and uh, he approved him. So
Wow.
what's crazy is that, like, a lot of people, they would have just probably, thrown the towel. And
Yep.
the park owner to give him a chance like that, because we thought, like, once you got denied, all the parks are going to deny. And at the time, I wasn't on
Mm.
board, so just kind of like let down after let down. Um, After he did get approved, we went ahead and we found a mobile home out in the park that was way too much money. Like, if we would have took that same deal, we would have got that either free or maybe like $200 or so. We
Right.
spent 500. I mean, we spent $2,500 on a mobile home,
Ooh.
little dinky, 14 by 60, 2 bedroom, 1 bath. We didn't know, and then we tried to do it
Right.
all in HGTV standards, like ripping out everything, doing way too much. Um,
Right. Right.
at the time, and this is another thing, we didn't have no money. He just got out of jail. I'm a flight attendant, only making $1,200 a month.
Oh,
That's $600 twice a month. Yep, I was standby. You don't fly when you're standby. So
right.
uh, I only had like 2 credit cards at the time that I let him have and use. It was only like $2,500 each credit card at the time, the limit. So that helped fund for the materials and Lowe's and things
Right.
that we could find on Marketplace. You can use your credit card. And we just got like a D plus, contractor off of Craigslist that could just get the jobs done, make it look decent. And,
Right.
that's how we did it. We didn't start with no education. Back then, there was not much education as there is now.
Yeah.
We didn't know anything about, negotiating the price, working with the park. I don't even think that the park gave us any lot rent at that time. We were still paying lot rent. Now he gives
Oh,
us
wow.
like 3 months. Yeah. um,
Nice.
we
So
put
you
way
still working with the same park manager, it sounds like.
still working with them. He just told me yesterday, bring us some more homes. I moved in a home last month for them, and we're still working on that. So fast forwarding though, our first deal, I didn't know the value of it, so I sold it for way too cheap. We were all in about 5,000, and I sold it for about 6,500 ish, 6,000, something like that.
Okay.
Maybe nothing, maybe $700 profit with
Right.
all the fees and lot rent and all that stuff. So
Mhm.
we didn't make much profit, but we used that $6,500 and just reinvested it into something else. Paid our credit cards a little bit down just to get us
Right.
by, and used
Right.
it to just keep reinvesting and reinvesting. So a
I
lot of
love
hurdles
it.
was jumped. It was like an expensive course, but we made a little something. So that's
Right.
a little bit
Right.
about it.
It's
So if
kind of like
anybody
you
out
pay.
there that feels like they can't get like approved by the park or they ain't got the money, we did that.
Wow. I love that because it's like, for one, you pay for your education, right? It's like, for now, a lot of people will pay for a course or mentorship or whatever, but it's kind of like you pay for your education through just actually taking steps. So it's like you made money you actually made money through that experience. But again, like going through the park, not accepting that denial for one, like saying, look, we're gonna make this happen. So that just kind of shows like the perseverance, in it, and having to not always accept no for answer, let people know what your plans are. I absolutely love that. So you guys were going direct to the park, letting the park managers know like kind of what your plan was in regards to bringing mobile homes into
Yeah.
their lots. I mean, yeah, filling their lots up. Was that the plan? Is that was
So
kind of
that
what you
was the
approached?
plan. Yeah. So originally, we didn't know nothing about being no infill specialist. We didn't know anything about moving homes around, none of that. But we knew that, that's a good game plan. We learned that from John Pedro. And he
Yes,
said,
yes.
you go in there and you tell them, I can bring, this park up to the value up by bringing in these homes. So in
Yeah.
the meantime, they were just like, well, here, we got some homes that could need some work done, and at that time, we were still trying to look for homes. And I think our second deal was bringing in 2 homes. We didn't know nothing about all that. No inspections, no, filling nothing up. We just knew it was bringing homes in, 2 of them at the same time. It was a lot. But and another thing is, these people, the managers and the owners, they're just real people. They're not
Mm-hmm.
somebody. They're just like you and me. They just want
Right.
to, work with good people and do what you're going to say, and that's it. Good real
Yeah.
people. That's it.
So when you're doing it in fields, like, so tell us a little bit about, because that is like one thing that some people have asked about in the group, is like being in infills. I haven't heard like somebody say infill specialist specifically, but tell us a little bit about like what entails an infill specialist, kind of what that is and how someone can go about doing that.
Absolutely. That's actually what I've been doing like real heavy this past year. I probably moved
Okay.
over like 15 homes since last February. And what you
Oh
do
wow.
is you can call. If you don't want to drive, you can call parks. Hey, I was wondering if you had any pads that are empty. And they'll let you know, yes, we have some, or no, we don't have any. If they do, then you just want to start asking them questions, just details. Well, what's the
Okay.
oldest home that you guys would take? Is it all electric, or do you guys carry gas too? What size pads, what size homes, do we need to fit in the pads? I mean, just like simple questions like that, just so you can get an idea. Okay, I seen a 1995 14 by 70, and I know that this park might take it on. And so whoever's selling the home, you want to negotiate the price with them. That way,
Hmm.
when you go back to your buyer, whether it's a manager, or I usually just do it the park owners,
Okay.
you can negotiate price with them, and they'll tell you, like, I got a few investors that tell me, like, we don't want to pay no more than 10,000, so whatever you get it for, we're not paying no more than this. So if I get it for
Right.
500 bucks, they'll go ahead and pay maybe 9,500, 10,000. Or I got my people that just give me a straight fee. Whatever home I bring in, they're just going to give you a fee, so they know what they're doing too. So
Right.
just want to get as
Right.
many.
Now, and are they, I mean, I'm assuming they're covering moving expenses, all of
Yep.
that for it to come. Okay.
Yep, all you're
Okay.
doing, you're just bringing them a deal because they're going to make their money. You're not
Right.
only just, upping their value of their park, because of course, the more homes that are in the park, the value is crazy. And then, their lot rent. All they want is
Mhm.
that lot rent.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. And I know that you said that you were talking primarily with the park owners. How are you getting in touch with the park owners versus the park managers?
Absolutely. I want to tell you, back then it was just the managers. Hey,
Okay.
the managers really don't want to deal with that side. They just want you to go ahead and directly talk to the owners because they're the one that's going to be giving you the money for the home.
Okay.
Nowadays, I mean, there's owners on all these groups. Every group. I just had one yesterday just reach out to me because I just did a home and I kind of talked about it a little bit. And he's like, hey,
Yeah.
I got about 7 parks. I need a lot of homes in this park. Can you help me? And a lot of these groups have hidden owners that are sitting there lurking all day for some people like us to help bring their park up to standards. Um, Either
Right.
manager, get in these groups, connect with people. Because another thing is, since I'm in Ohio, I got people that have parks everywhere. So I can't drive to Pennsylvania and Indiana and, certain ways. I got to connect them with people that, just throw me a bird dog fee and just keep
Right.
the money circling around. That's what it is.
Right, right, right. That's a great like tip, because I always talk about Facebook groups in general. I just think that they're so useful in finding deals, finding sellers, finding buyers. But there's even a couple like park owner groups. I'm in like a couple park owner groups, and
Yes.
they talk about park owner stuff, right? So you can get into those groups too. That's a good one. Now, I
Yep.
know that you said in the first year from you getting started, you flipped 22 mobile homes. Girl,
22. So
22 mobile homes. So before we get into that, I want to make sure everybody that's on, share with us where you guys are coming in from. We want to just thank you for tuning in and let us know where you're coming in from. Say hello so we can all um, be involved in this together. Let's chit chat. If you guys have any questions, make sure you're posting your questions. So let's talk about 22 mobile homes, girl. How did you do that? What was that like?
absolutely. So how I knew that I was getting, I was jumping on board.
Right.
Um, my fiance likes to just throw me in the fire. When he got finished with that rehab that, took us way too much, time, money, all of that. He told me to find a buyer. Here, home's done. We did all the work. You find a buyer. As soon as I listed that thing up on Craigslist, this was when Craigslist was popping. I didn't even list it on Marketplace. I got a call within an hour and said, "Hey, don't sell that home. I want to buy it." I was like, "Okay, this is within an hour." I mean, as soon as he got approved by the park, we met at the bank. He gave me the cash. I was like, "Wow, you know what?" Ever since then, that's when I knew. And what's crazy is that I never sold on payments. This one park was the park that I'm still dealing with right now that I just brought in a home in. They said we don't want you to ever rent out, ever do anything. So that first year we had to get that respect, just keep flipping homes. Like if you got an eviction, we was in there doing it up. If there was a anything, we were doing it up. It took us about a year and a half before he was like, you know what, do whatever you want to do at the park. That's just between us. So it took some time. It does. It takes a lot of patience.
Yeah. Yeah. So so the flipping that you guys were doing was that like fixing and flipping? Was that wholesaling? Fixing and flipping
No,
them?
that was strictly fixing and flipping them. We didn't even and moving them to parks, and then still fixing them and flipping them. Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
And
That
you
was
guys are moving them to the park. So when you say you were moving them to the parks, like y'all were paying for the moving expenses?
no. The park paid for the move, and that was it. We paid for the skirting, the electric, the plumbing. We had to hook it
Okay.
up. We didn't inspect it, and if there
Okay.
needed to be any work done, we would do the work in there too, and then flip it. So
Okay. Wow. So how was it like with doing 22 flips in a year? Were there any like systems that you guys had to have to kind of stay on course of like what's needed where and when? Do you have any systems even now with having your kids? I know for myself it's like I gotta do, if I say do something, like let me do it right now because next thing you know, I'm gonna be over here cleaning up this or over here. So what type of systems do you have in place now or then that really kind of helped you stay organized and make sure things were flowing?
yeah, I want to say we always went with a piece of paper that has basically everything down on it. Each home was written on its own piece of paper. A
Yeah.
lot of people want to, remember or just jot down notes, and then the notes end up underneath, your car seat
Yes.
or whatever. No, we had a spreadsheet for everything, and to be honest, my kids never been in daycare. They just go with me. It is
Yep.
what I mean. Unless the home, we don't ever really touch homes that are very unsafe, like a house or a fire or any type of bugs or anything. But if the home is sound, you just coming on with us.
I hear you,
Um,
girl. I
and
hear you.
yeah,
And that's really interesting though, because we're very much the same. Our kids literally go everywhere with us too. And like I'm on a phone, I know they hear them, and I'm just like, I always say, sorry for the background noise, right? And the funny thing is like people, it's almost a way of building rapport without trying, like they're like, oh no, I completely understand. Like I have grandkids, or I have, I remember those days. And it's kind of a easy way to connect with people, obviously through our kids. And then something you also mentioned was just writing things on paper. So recently my husband and I realized, like, we have all these CRM systems and all these systems and things we're paying for, and like we're not probably not utilizing them to the best of it, of I guess what it maybe could do. But what we realize is like every time we're on the phone with, like you said, I'm running to grab an envelope, like grabbing this, and then I'm like, oh my goodness, and then we transfer that into our CRM system. So we actually made the decision. We're moving to Charlotte on Wednesday. So we decided once we move, we're getting back to the basics, like paper, write down our leads, and we're gonna just put them in a
yeah,
file cabinet. And I've
yeah.
actually heard several pretty successful individuals share how like just keeping things basic, like
It
having
is.
your pen and paper,
You don't have
pulling
to
out,
have.
look, this week, let's pull out the file for today and just call your leads, is a lot more efficient. surprisingly.
Everybody works differently. You do not have to have 5 different websites and all that stuff. I still like the paper. I put in a file cabinet, and then if I need it, it's right there. Now, I do use sometimes Google Sheets. Like if I have
Mhm.
a lot going on, then I'll
Yeah.
put them on some that way it's on my phone. But I like to keep it simple. I don't know. Just
No, I totally agree with you. I love it. So the kids are with you. They go into the flips. They see in the flips. I love that. Like how are they? Are they like learning and kind of understanding lingo now when you're talking more about like we're going to another home.
yeah, so my son, he's about to be 5. He's all for it. He will come out there with his hammer, everything. My girl, who's about to be 3, don't care about none of it. She wants to eat, play, that's it. It's like night and day. He's all for it. He'll sit there and listen to me. And like he was in my story yesterday, if anyone saw it. I'm over here. I have the buyer, I have the seller. He's right here
Yes,
with me. And it
yes,
was it was beautiful. And I was like, all right,
yeah,
it's time to go. It just depends. I hope that she gets on board someday, but
right. In due time, in due time, in due
yes,
time. Yeah, I saw that story that you posted. So that was a deal that you said you'd never seen either one of them until you closed.
until we closed. That was and I never even saw the home. I met this buyer off of Facebook Marketplace. He had an ad
Mm.
up that said, I'm a park owner. I need homes. Bring him to me. I hopped right in his inbox and he was like, what's an infill specialist? And I told him exactly what it was. I've got to go out and find homes for you. And if it's a good deal, that is what it was. I like to be transparent in my deals. I mean, I feel like if you're in my pockets, you're not somebody I really need to work with. And that's where a lot of
Mhm.
people try to hide and dip and all that stuff. I let them know, like, listen, this seller is asking for this much. I'm going to ask for this. If you want it, you can take it, or if not, I got other deals, or I got other investors that will take this. But
Right.
I mean, the seller she was so happy. This park is closing down, so they need to have all these homes moved out by May.
Mm.
Um, I never even saw the home. I never met the seller. I never seen this buyer. He drove up 2.5 hours. They met, when he saw the
Right.
home, and then I was just like, I'm out of it until we need all clothes.
I love like I'm gonna be there for that part. I'm gonna be there for that part.
I'll be there for that.
I love it. I love it. So you said that now you're primary, like you're very really focused on the infill specialist versus the other. Like, what percentage would you say? Like, are you infilling versus maybe wholesaling or flipping or renting out?
I want to say right now, I brought in a home. I'm about to do a fix and flip. I brought in a home, so I'm going to fix that and sell it on payments. But I'm really on the infill specialist. I'm very hands off. It's easier for me with the baby.
Yeah.
Um, I like to network with these owners. It's really nice to just sit there and help these, park owners out. To me, I just want to do what makes sense for me. Doing these fix and flips can be because it is just me now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. And what I guess how do you determine like what do you have a criteria to say, okay, this one I'm gonna do an infill or this one I'm gonna flip, this one I'm gonna wholesale. Do you have a criteria that you use?
I do. So if I want to say this, the home that I brought in last month, if it's a home that I can take here, I want to. But now
Mhm.
that I've filled up this park so much, I don't have a lot of room here. Like the
Mhm.
bigger homes, they only can take small homes. So what I do is if I can't take it, I'm gonna shout it out to my investors and see if they want to take it. And if I can't shout it to any investors, I'm gonna go to some just regular end buyers. End
Right.
buyers is where it gets a little bit, difficult because
Mhm.
they don't understand your fee part, but I let them know like my fee is still between like 1,000 and 5,000 just to give you a deal.
Mhm.
So just whatever makes sense.
Mm. Okay, so you'll get the deal and you'll share with the buyer like, hey, this property is 3,000 and I have like 1,000 or $2,000 fee.
Fee, yeah,
Got
yeah.
you. Got you. Got you. And do they ever like try to negotiate your fee with you? Or you say you don't even deal with them if they're trying to do that?
I do not really. I mean, I've never had it to where someone made it a big deal ever. I've had it to where everyone I did this where it was just a regular seller and a regular buyer, and everyone she was just happy that she got a. Well, you know what? Because I don't really get greedy. That's what it really is. I
Mhm.
know that my home is priced fair, and if it's in a great park or if it's in a great area, and if I price it fair, then you're going to make it happen. Now, if you want to get greedy, now that's when people get a
Right.
little But come on now, this is not even
Right.
all that. So, just go with your intention. You really have to have it in your heart to really help people. Like you're helping a seller and a buyer, and you're making money in between. It's
Mm-hmm.
not a get rich quick thing. It's not a whole, 50,
Yeah.
60,000. It's not
Yeah.
real estate.
Right. Right. And that's definitely like some things that just understanding the difference of the audience that we're dealing with. Like for us, coming from single families for almost 5 years, investing in single families and in multifamilies to mobile homes, like it's it's a different audience. You're just dealing with different, and like, but I personally love it. Like it's just it's so laid back, like everybody's so chill, like everybody's
Regular, real
very
people.
homey. People are not I don't know, I find more people to just be more truthful about things. It's just, yeah, it's a completely like different, audience for the most part. Yeah, but I mean it's yeah, you just have to kind of just understand, obviously, a lot of people are just trying to get their way into home ownership. They've saved up their money for quite some time. I think one thing that I think that we have come across a lot recently is people being concerned about being scammed. Do you have any have you had that where buyers are just like, they're so hesitant, they want it, but they're just like concerned that they're going to be scammed?
I've never had that happen. I
Hmm.
mean, first off, I never deal with any homes that don't have a title. I get that a lot. I get it that some states, it's just a requirement to have a bill of sale. But if there's no title, I don't really look at it. It's going to be scrapped to me. But
Got
no, I've
you.
never had a scam. Because I come with, if you know what you're talking about and you got it going on and you have referrals, it all kind of lines up.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the issue for us, that what it was definitely the title, because we did not have a title for two of those the two properties that we had a buyer that was concerned about it. So they ended up purchasing it at the end of the day. And everything went great. Like we all try to make sure that we walk them through the process of registering it and everything like that. So but that is absolutely great. So now you are primarily focusing on infilling these lots in the parks that you're already working with and expanding into those other areas. Somebody asked, what part of Ohio State are you in, and how can they get involved?
Yeah, so I am in Columbus, and how
Okay.
you can get involved with your fixing and flipping or infill specialists, I want to say jump in these groups. A lot of people that are in Ohio or these parks that are in Ohio, a lot of investors are not here. So they're trusting
Mm,
you to look at the home, send them pictures, give them the real details of the home. And the relationship will be, forever. Just because, they might not take the home that you give them, they got other people that could probably take on the home. So I like this more in the relationship than always the money, even though that's a good,
mhm. Of course, of course. I mean, we're all in it to, to
yep.
make some money too, but we want to help people as well. I love that. And one interesting thing really is like when you start kind of getting those deals, for me, I didn't go in with the idea of like being an infill specialist, but it just happened somewhat. I just started having I just got a deal, posted it, and park owners started reaching out to me. I had a lot of park owners reaching out to me for deals that I had without even knowing that was the thing at the time. I was just wholesaling. That was what I was doing, what I thought I was doing. So yeah, that's also something, like even if you're just getting a deal and you're posting it, you will probably have some park owners contacting you as well, to try to move it to their lot, and then you kind of build a relationship. I have actually I have a park owner coming on, I think in 2 weeks. One of my buyers was my first buyer ever, and he's bought 3 deals from me to fill his park up. So, and again, thought I was just wholesaling.
Good, good.
Somebody was
Don't
asking
be
about
thinking,
infill. I'm like, infill? What are you talking about? I'm just wholesaling,
absolutely.
girl. Yes, yes. So what are your, like, just moving forward, what are some of mobile home moms plans in the mobile home space? Just to continue building this infill specialist? role?
Yep. So continuing to still, build relationships with park managers and park
Mhm.
owners. Like I said, like that buyer that I just met him. I never even did a deal with him. When he gave me the check, I said, "Oh my goodness! Like I hope that this goes through." Like I don't even take checks, but it's okay.
Yes.
I just want to continue to build a relationship with these park owners because eventually, I want to connect with them on a different level of investing into one of their parks, or one day they might want to sell, even just like these movers. Most of these movers have parks. And one day, they don't want to have a park anymore. They're going to want to take that money and, retire or something. And they're going to think of you, of course, first for helping them out. And they probably want to help you out
Yes.
anyway.
Yes, 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 yes. So I love it. Long-term goals, like right now, just kind of planting the seeds, planting the seeds. I love that. Someone asked, around how much profit was made in your first year of investing?
Oh, my first year. Oh my goodness. I want to say profit wise, we fixed and flipped. I want to say at least it was six figures over just yes. We were
Yes.
fixing and flipping. We were moving homes all around. It was a lot. But we were hitting it. That's when mobile homes was uh that's when real estate here was getting to be a little bit tight, and the market is crazy. If anyone knows in Ohio, where things are getting overpriced, overbid, over
Mhm.
everything. So mobile homes was just selling left and right. And that's when I knew that you could sell these for a little bit more, because at the end of the day, they're still going to be affordable, and the maintenance and the bills, everything is just cheaper. So well
Yeah.
over
Have you
100K.
seen like a shift? I mean, you've been in it pretty long. Have you seen a shift within these 6 years?
Yeah.
With I mean, now it seems, of course, more people are interested in investing in them as well as actually living in them. Have you seen kind of a shift like that?
I have seen a little bit of a shift. See, back then, homes, you could find them all the time, everywhere, didn't matter. Driving now, I won't say it's difficult, but it is a little bit tighter.
Mhm.
You're going up against people, or you're spending a little bit more money. Like I spent $2,500 on this last home. See, about 5 years ago, I would have threw him maybe $1,000 for it. But
Right.
yeah, it is getting just a little bit, not too much though. It's still a small niche. So
That's good. That's good. Tell us about, of course, here a lot of people come on and they're sharing all this great stuff. And people are like, yes, yes, yes. But I always like all of our guests to just share like one of the worst stories or deals that they may have done and kind of how you overcame that, just to kind of shed light on some of the things that someone may run into and kind of give a little bit of encouragement to not give up and how you can overcome an
yeah.
obstacle of any of a deal.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, my first deal was not making that much profit. But other than that, I've never really had like a bad deal. I never lost money. I never, but I'll tell you this one story. Last year, everyone knows that my fiance did pass away last February. He had
Yes,
heart failure,
yes.
and
So sorry to
literally it
hear
was on
that.
a Thursday. I mean, and I
Mm.
like to talk about it. Some people are like, "Oh, I
Okay.
don't want to talk about it," and I'm like, I love it because it's still, it what we've done together, I'm still able to carry that on and kind of
Yes,
just pick up and still do and continue. But
yes,
and
yes.
everyone knew he had open heart surgery, and ever since then it just kind of was a battle for a year. And that was on a Thursday. Literally 2 days later on a Saturday, where I was moving homes. Yes.
Wow.
Did a couple of deals in December. That was right before, and I didn't really know the whole details of the homes. So he
Yeah.
was on to the owner, telling him the sizes, telling him what it was. All I know is that the mover calls me on Saturday. He knew what was happening. I'm sorry
Right.
about your old man, but I'm bringing in these homes. I was like, bring him in. Like, what am I going to do? Leave him?
Yeah.
So we bring these homes in, and he tells the owner that they were 14 by 70s. The pad that he had set them in wasn't a 14 by like 50 or a 60. So we had about 4 feet of home in the middle of the
Oh.
street. Yes, and the owner comes back hot at me, like, Chanel, uh, as you can see that the home is in the street, this cannot work. It took the mover 30 days to come back to move it 30 feet. The owner got a big bill just to move it that 30 feet. Long story short, I take my measuring tape and I measure the homes out. because sometimes the titles are not accurate. And sometimes
Mhm.
you just need to know just for your sake. So when I brought in
Yes.
that home last month, I was out there with my measuring tape and I said, this is definitely a 14 by 60. Uh,
Yes.
we can bring this in. So if you are, want to be an infill specialist, you got to make sure that them homes are the right size, because you don't know exactly what pads, because you can put, I always get this confused. You can put a big home, you cannot put a small home on a bigger pad or a
Bigger
smaller,
pad.
something like that. Yes, like you cannot put a big home on a small pad.
Small pad. Right.
There it goes.
Right.
Yes, but it could be vice versa. You can put a small home on a big pad because you got that extra pad,
Extra space.
but
Okay.
not going to work out. So you want to make sure that they're not going to get smacked with that bill.
Yeah, yeah, that's really interesting, and thank you for sharing that because I got a lead one time and he was like, "Yeah, I'm selling my deal." And I'm, cuz why are you selling it? And he's like, "Well, I purchased it and it's like it's a 74." He had to get a 14 by 70. I think it was like a 14 by 74 or something like that. Or no, a 14 by no, he needed a 14 by 60 with a 14 by 70. So my mind, I'm just like that's not that much of a difference. Like, can't you just, you're really trying to sell it for but now I really understand like that's really, really important. You have to have it certain size.
Yes. Now there are some parks that they can take on any homes. They got enough
Yeah.
land to where they can just bring in homes. They might not have it on a cement block or a cement pad or anything like that.
Mhm.
But some of these homes, I mean, the streets were, there were just rows of streets like this, and then the homes were in the middle. This home was sticking out in the back and the front. And I'm like, what did he tell them? But it wasn't
Dang.
even us. It was the actual, it came from a senior community park. And it was
Okay.
that owner told us that it was that. So we're just going off of the owner. They, they weren't right, but that's okay. I learned my
Right.
lesson. I will just go out there and measure myself for, for
I
sake.
love it. I love it. Look, you making it happen. And I appreciate you mentioning your husband. I was like, not sure either. So I definitely appreciate you mentioning that. I've heard so much like great things about him. So many great stories and like how he touched so many people and inspired so many people. So definitely want to give our respects to him very, very much. What was his name?
Yes, Cam Colley. He went by the Mobile Home King, and
Mobile
yes,
Home King. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. So now you are continuing this legacy with your
yes,
beautiful kids. I know that they love it. And they're, excited. It's really exciting. It's very like my little son now, like he keeps talking about he picked up a quarter today. I don't know where he found one at. He's like, this money. He said, we could go buy a house with this. I say, yeah,
yes,
we
yes. Doesn't
sure
that warm
can.
your heart? My son will say, "Hey, let's go see the mobile home," or or
Yes.
I will take him out of school. He was out of school yesterday just to watch his clothes. I will do that. I'm that mom.
I love it. I love it. Like that experience is total like you can't pay for that. That's beautiful. And it's
Yes,
what like your parents, like this is our family business. Like
yes.
I
It's
love it. I
cool.
absolutely love it. So for those that are brand new, to what would be, your final and kind of a piece of advice for someone that is brand new, interested in getting into mobile homes, not really sure kind of, where to even start. What would be something that you would recommend or a tip that you've experienced to share with them along their journey into investing in mobile
Absolutely.
homes?
Absolutely. I want to say first things first is to network. Network. Stay in these groups, ask questions. There's somebody that's going to answer, whether they're half seasoned, a little bit seasoned, or me
Hmm.
all the way seasoned. Um,
Hmm.
Continue to network. And I built Mobile Home Mom because I know that there are some families out there that are working, they got kids. We did the same thing and we
Yes.
still pushed it through. We were just, you set them goals and you go out, you call these parks, you get with these buyers, you get with these sellers, and just work through with it. Just work
Hmm.
it out. You are not going to be an expert on your first deal. Just get your first deal, and then things will start to unravel and unfold. Network, stay active, and what take the kids with you. That's all right. We bring the snacks. We bring everything.
Yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. Someone asked, let me see if we make sure we answer all these questions. What is the average price for the mobile homes that you usually flip?
Hmm. So that comes hand in hand. I want to say usually I get the older homes, 1980, 90s ish. The
Hmm.
newest one I've ever gotten was like a 2011.
Okay.
But to go back to what I'm usually doing, I usually get them for cheap. Um, Probably put in maybe about 5 grand. I usually try to keep it at a number. If it's, if it's over 5 grand, this is it. This is how it's going.
Yeah.
And then usually I could sell them for between 25 and 30
Okay.
pretty easily. So
Okay. Okay. And I think that's great. And typically like for so 5 grand for the purchase typically, and then and then maybe like another five or so for renovations.
on average, I want to say I like to keep it at 5 altogether.
Oh, okay.
I find them pretty cheap here. Yeah, I find them pretty cheap, like between 3,500. And that's like for something that's good, like something that just needs a clean up, paint, maybe some switching some flooring out in the kitchen, and keep
Okay.
it real cheap. I usually find my materials at like marketplace, people who like got way too many materials and they just want to sell it cheap. Or I always just try to do
Mhm.
it, because I've had it to where we done up this one mobile home. We did everything to a new tub, new this, new countertops. We sold that. All that stuff was on the side of the road. They wanted to do it their own way anyway. Yep.
Oh my goodness.
They had the money and they were contractors. We didn't really know when we were selling it, but yeah, they
Right.
wanted a jacuzzi tub. They wanted marble in there. They wanted to do it up. So I've learned a
Wow.
lesson from that. Just clean, livable. You don't gotta do all that.
Right, right. I love it. I love it. Someone said, for a newbie in this space, how would you go about being an infill specialist?
Absolutely. So I want to say, when I first started becoming an Infill specialist, I would, of course, get in these groups.
Mhm.
Look around in your market. Um, if you're in Pennsylvania, look at some parks around. Hey, you know what? I just seen about 12 empty pads here. I wonder if they could
Mhm.
use some homes. And go right to that manager, and ask them, the criteria of what they need, what size homes, what years will they take? Do they want pitched roofs? Do they want
Mhm.
sided? Do they want vinyl? Or I mean, all types of little
Right.
questions that what the park will want. Because usually parks nowadays, they're a little bit more stricter than what they were. They don't want
Mhm.
that metal. They don't really take 70 sometimes unless, they want to. But and then start looking at homes and just start sending them deals. They might tell you no, 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 the first 3 deals. Then you'll start seeing more deals. Oh, we'll take
Yeah.
that one. And after that, it's a go.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Someone said they're sorry for your loss. You're so strong. Yes, I
Thank
love
you,
it. Strong,
girl.
beautiful. Um, and then we had earlier, we just had a couple people just tapping in from hello from Maryland, Tallahassee, Florida. I don't know what part of Texas that is. Coruscant, Texas. What's up? Baltimore, Raleigh, North Carolina. And Kelly said this technique is fire. This technique is fire. Love it, love it, love it, Kelly. So
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. Well, where if people are interested in joining or connecting with you, are you coaching?
I do. I got back into doing some more
Oh,
coaching here.
yay.
Yes, I am going back. I do one-on-one mentoring, and I do have 2 courses that are out. A lot of people learn differently. So some people do not want to commit to a course. They'll do their weekly calls. Schedule a call every Tuesday. Hey, I'll give you some tasks. There you go. And I do have an affordable course, Learn the Basics of Mobile Investing. Basically, it's my five,
What is it
6 years,
called? What is it called?
Learn the Basics of Mobile Home Investing.
Okay.
Yes.
Mobile
It is
home.
my 5 years, basically. Come on in. 5 years of getting it, my ups and downs and do's and don'ts. And I wish what I would have learned.
Yes, learn the basics of mobilehomeinvesting.com. I love that. Okay, so you have one-on-one coaching and you have a course. Two courses, you
Yeah.
said.
Yep. My other course, that's a little bit more for people that a little bit more seasoned. I do have a CRM system, so if people are looking to get a CRM. I kind of just walk through it and see how it can add value to you. I've gotten a lot of leads off of that as well.
I
So
love it. I am so thrilled to hear that because I know somebody's going to be interested in connecting with you. So outside of course connecting with you at your website, learn the basics of mobilehomeinvesting.com. Where else can people connect with you if they're looking to, follow you, stay tuned of what you're doing?
yeah, so I'm very active on Instagram. I post stories every day, usually, and I think that's motivating for people because I am
Yeah.
really transparent and real. My Instagram is Mobile Home Mom, and then also I have a Facebook group that is called "Learn the Basics of Mobile Home Investing" Facebook group, where it shares my links, and a lot of owners are on there, managers are on there, contractors are on there, brand new people too, like people that don't even know if they want to do it. One day they wake up, oh, I want to mobile invest, and they might, I think it's just more of a motivating type of group. So mobile mom is really where I'm active at. So follow me on there, stories, game, all that.
All that. The kids, the family, all of it.
The kids,
I love it. And
everything.
isn't it somebody's birthday today? Whose birthday is today? I saw
Today's
you post.
Yep. So today's my mom's birthday. So yep.
Yay!
So she's probably on watching too.
Yay! Happy birthday, mom. The
Yeah.
mom of Mobile Home Mom, okay?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Well, Chanel, thank you so much for joining me. As I said, I was just so excited to have you on. Could not wait. And I learned a ton today myself, and I know everybody that was on today learned a bunch. So I just want to thank you again for taking the time to be with to chat with us all tonight. We wish you the absolute best on your future endeavors, and we all gonna keep following you, girl. So we'll be watching your journey. So thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thank
Appreciate it.
you.
All right, everyone. Thank you all for joining tonight. We're gonna hop off. You all have a wonderful week. Until next week, we will be back. See you all soon. Bye bye.
All right. Bye.